Well, we've made it through the bulk of the cold weather in Oklahoma, and Eric Stafne, how are the grapes in Oklahoma doing?
Well, we've had some significant injury. The cold weather event that we had in early February was, a really significant cold event, and some of our grapes are just not acclimated for that type of weather. So a lot of the grapes grown in Oklahoma are European species, so Vitis vinifera grapes. There are also some hybrids and some American type grapes, and there's been a variety of different responses to that cold. So here we have one particular Vitis vinifera variety, which is Merlot.
Okay.
And it looks okay right now, just walking up to it. But one of the things that we check first is for bud damage, okay? Buds are what produce our fruit, so we're very concerned about that.
Right.
So when we come through here, we want to take buds that are in what we call the fruiting zone.
Okay.
And so usually that's about a foot from this arm or cordon here.
Okay.
So this is the fruiting zone, and we want to look at the buds here. So we choose something in here and just take a razor blade, make sure it's sharp, and just make a single cut through here, about a third of the way, to expose the buds. So here we've got, in this one bud are 3 separate buds. Okay. So it's called a compound bud. A lot of times also when we have that type of damage, we may start seeing some wood damage as well. And one way to test for that is to actually just cut into the shoots themselves.
It almost seems dry.
It is dry. It has some resistance to it that we don't like to see. And you can already see that this is not as bright green as we'd like to have, and there's actually some whitish looking type tissue here. Around the cambium area, it's all brown. This is going to be dead. Unfortunately, that is going to mean that probably this entire shoot is going to be dead. Now, does that mean that the rest of this is going to die as well? We just don't really know at this point. Okay. We could cut into here and look, but sometimes that's not very diagnostic unless you see a lot of browning or black streaks or something like that. So as for the vine itself, we're not going to know really probably until growth initiates in the spring and early summer whether these things are going to survive or not.
Are there anything, or is there anything that that grape producers can do right now?
Well, you can hope for the best, cross your fingers, hope for the best. But usually right now is the time when we prune. Right. Okay. And generally there's some formulas that we use when we prune these grapes, especially when there's damage like this. If we have 20% or fewer buds damaged, the primary buds, we would not do anything. We just prune like we normally would. Right. If we have between 20 and 80%, then we compensate for that percentage that are dead. So let's say we normally leave 50 buds on here and we had 80% damage, we would add another 40 buds, so leave 90 total buds on this. If it's greater than 80%, then we do very little. Right. At this point, you're just hoping that some of these buds push. Right. You're not sure what's living at this point and what's dead. You know it's dead, but you're hoping for more that's living, so you're just going to leave it pretty much fairly hairy like this. Okay.
Now, not all of your vines here at the research station look like that. You have some better looking grapes also.
We do. We have actually one here that it's looked fairly well.
Excellent.
So let's go take a look.
Yeah. Well, Eric, these vines look a lot better than the last ones. Right.
This is a variety that was bred in Minnesota, specifically for cold weather. And so the name of this is Frontenac Gris. Okay. It's grown in a lot of northern states and also in Nebraska and other areas like that. So we're trying it out here, and so far with this winter event, it appears to have fared better than a lot of the other varieties. So let's cut a bud open and see what it looks like. Yeah. When we're comparing this one, still look in the fruiting zone here, and we'll make this cut.
Wow.
And we can see that those buds are green. We're looking at something good here production-wise. Let's make a cut into the wood here, and we can see the difference in what the green looks like. And here's what it should look like compared to what we just saw over there. It looks, we can see some moisture in here. It's very green. So this is going to be, we're looking at full productivity on this vine this year.
Okay. Now producers that may be in the situation of the last vines that we looked at, they may not see fruit this year. Yes or no?
That's correct.
Okay.
You know, if you don't have any of those buds alive, you're not going to see any fruit. It's possible that you could see some, but it won't be enough to be worth harvesting at all. It'll just be sporadic and poor quality generally, if you do see any.
For those producers who don't see fruit, is there anything that they need to be doing to their vines this year that can help next year?
Well, I don't think we know quite the answer to that totally right now. We're going to know more in the late spring, early summer, whether those vines are actually dead or still alive. And at that point, we may be recommending doing some fertilization, some watering, maybe some other pruning techniques. But for right now, we're in a kind of a wait and see mode.
So we could meet up with you, say, in May or June and see how things are going?
Definitely. We'll know a lot more by then.
Excellent. Well, Eric, thank you very much. And you can find out more information about the grapes of Oklahoma on our website, sunup.okstate.edu.